Welcome to Adults Only Comedy Berlin. Today we have Philipp Leinenbach. Leinenbach?
Yes, Leinenbach.
Bach.
Correct.
Amazing. Welcome. We've got a new position for the podcast. I'm really excited to film here.
That's really comfortable and nice.
Yeah, right?
Yes, I love it.
I love it too. Okay, so for anyone who's just listening, that's weird. Okay, so Philipp, you will be only the second. I don't count gay man like it's a thing, but I had Rob on, and then there has been a...
Thank you for not disappointing me, because I was waiting for you to introduce me like that. Thank you. Very appreciated.
Yeah, but welcome. You're welcome. Yeah. Well, you're a representative of the... Like, you do things for the community.
I do, yes.
Yeah, so it's part of your identity, right?
I was like, is she gonna say it? She's gonna say
gay,
it.
Gay.
This is Philip. He's gay. Welcome. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're also a comedian, an actor.
Yes,
right?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
cool.
about it. Yeah.
That's
I'm
about
an
it.
actor. I'm a comedian and gay,
And
which
gay.
is
Yeah.
actually at first. Yeah.
I think how I identify is I like penises, but I have a vagina, and I'm a comedian.
That's how you always introduce yourself?
Yeah, vagina owner, penis enthusiast, comedian.
That sounds good.
Yeah, I think it...
I can't say that about me, but...
No,
yeah.
you don't have the vagina, but
Yeah,
penis
yeah.
enthusiast, right?
But yeah, definitely.
Yeah. High five.
That's a good start, yeah. That's actually a good description. I never thought about that. I'm gonna write that now on all my profiles.
Right? It's like, it's so funny still, I think, that we're so obsessed with our genitals. With our genitals.
Yeah.
It's like, so who you are is based on what you do with those bits down there.
True, but I was so obsessed with our... Yeah, that's the
think
first
we
topic
are.
we talked about, so yeah, totally.
Well, it's what I constantly talk about.
Right, true.
But I think just with, like all religion, with identity politics, it's all about, it'd be nice if we didn't. And I think, the whole concept of non-binary identification is trying to move beyond that, right? But like gender and sexuality, it's also focused on the bits.
But don't we talk about it more because of the comedic side of it? Like, I mean, now,
side?
like not like a serious topic. I mean, of course, we also talk about it seriously, but
Yeah.
I think we are in our thinking way more forward with it, that we actually not only do that, no? I mean, just speaking about me, I don't know about you, like...
So
you introducing me as this is Philip, he's gay.
He's
But
gay.
obviously not.
yeah, like I haven't been introduced by anyone as like, this is Anna, she's a slut. Actually, maybe I have actually. That's, I think, yeah, I've started, yeah.
Is that what for you is the same? Like, this is Philip, he's gay, and this is Anna, she's a slut?
Well, when I say slut, it's like, I think that's the word, that's the, better word. No, the more street word for bisexual.
Okay.
Slut, right? Like, or...
Okay. Right.
I'll
right.
take anything.
No, yeah, right. I read that somewhere once, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, but yes, we play around with it. Like we're obsessed with it on the political, like society is, but then it's also like but then it is the funniest thing. Yeah.
But
like, it's one of the funniest
I mean,
things.
we're kind of obsessed, but it's also not so important in a way, no? I mean, I
Yes.
know it's like that doesn't really go along together, but we talk about it a lot, but also we don't care about it so much as we talk about.
Yeah.
If that makes sense, no?
Yeah, what do you mean?
Doesn't
Like
make
as
any
in
sense,
it
no?
makes
Now that I
Are you saying
reflected
as
in my head.
comedians we don't care or
Well, as comedians, we obviously talk about it because it's fun to talk about and people laugh about it, no?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
like also we can talk about personal experiences and it makes it more fun sometimes when we include genitals in stories.
right? But it's because it's taboo to talk about it that we talk about it, I think, and that's why it's funnier.
Yeah,
Or
and
it
for
has
us it's
been.
also more comfortable to talk about than you sometimes see it is for the audience to listen to, no?
We're
So
more comfortable.
that is the thing also,
yeah,
no?
yeah. We're more comfortable talking about it than they are listening to it.
Exactly, because for
Yeah.
us maybe, and that is the thing what I wanted to say, I think for us it's not such a big thing anymore. I think, that is...
Exactly.
Yeah.
Although for my first year of comedy, like, for example, I was really uncomfortable with the word pussy. Like, pussy was not a comfortable word in my mouth at all. But it's by doing comedy, it's like,
It's
Jesus
not a
Christ.
comfortable word in my mouth either.
But like, I think there would be, it's a different educational point and different level of comfort, I think, probably for male, like, penis owners to talk about their penises, I think, whereas the vagina is like, it's inside, like,
Yeah.
who's really seen it, it's a different comfort talking about that. What about your butthole? You always been comfortable talking about your butthole?
I mean,
Is that like your vagina? Like your butthole's like, as in like
in which
comforts?
way are we
Actually,
talking?
in all
Sorry,
ways.
well, I would say I'm actually quite comfortable with like talking about everything. It depends on the people I'm talking to, of course, but maybe more the reasons, maybe more their own comfort. Like if I feel someone is uncomfortable with that, then I also feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I don't want to talk about my butthole with everybody, to be honest. I don't see the reason for it. There are better topics than that.
Are you sure?
Well.
I think I should talk about my butthole more. No, like, I feel like so many of the clips from this podcast are about anal. I'm like, I know it's not.
Yeah, I saw and heard that already.
Like, I'm not that focused. I feel, I'm not that focused.
No, I mean, the more we all talk about it, the less it is a thing, no?
Yeah,
and
right.
The more comfortable everybody feels about it.
Yeah, I think that's important.
I think. Because in the end, it's like we all are the same.
And I wonder if, like, I wonder how much the taboo, I'm doing it again, talking about anal, but I wonder if some of the taboo around it, / connecting to, like, homophobia, it's like, it's the anal thing, anal sex, I wonder how much people maintain the tabooness around anal sex because it allows them to continue being homophobic.
Right. You know what really is funny to me? That a lot of male comedians, straight male comedians mostly, like, especially in German comedy, like to talk about or make jokes about anal or buttholes. Which in the end not even funny. You're just sitting there and thinking, okay, you really like to talk about this. Like, let's talk about it. If you want to talk about it, let's talk about it. That's the thing.
Yeah. So you think they're closet gays? Or?
No. No. I'm not thinking that. Not all of them. No, but it's
Just
really,
hoping.
I don't know. I mean, you're also doing German comedies. You never noticed that?
Interesting. I haven't watched that much. Like, I do watch, I obviously I do far more English shows.
Yeah.
So the comedians that I've seen in the German scene, I haven't noticed a distinct,
Okay.
yeah, like quantity of butthole material, actually.
Okay.
But like the shows that I do
It
are
was
like,
rather homophobic and racist in general, yeah?
not even, like I do Alex Ubertov's shows or Hans and Falk or,
Okay, yeah.
or like I don't do anything in the Mad Monkey Room, and I think that's probably where the racist homophobia is.
I've been there once.
Okay, no. Mad Monkey Room's a great venue. Check it out, guys. Comedy every night. Not in any way discriminatory as a place or comedy style. Okay, but I don't know about, and Comedy Flash with Richie.
Yeah.
And with Jan Oberhausen. I have not seen a lot.
No,
of
true. But I also maybe that it's a German male thing is actually not even right. It's really straight male, and also of course not everybody. But I noticed it's a big thing in general that straight men like to talk or like make jokes about
buttholes.
that.
Interesting. I'm gonna have that switched.
Or
on
anal, maybe
anal.
butthole is already so specific that it's more like anal because it's sex. It's
It's so naughty.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am not sure. I'm gonna listen out for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You will hear it now
I will hear
every
it
single
now,
time,
all the time. I'm always so conscious of my contribution to that topic that I'm, maybe I don't hear other people's, but I haven't got any. Oh no, I do have. I've got a few bits, but I don't pull them out so much.
Okay.
They're really extreme bits. They're,
I'm not gonna make that joke now, but like, I just
pull
thought
out
about it. Yeah.
pull out my bits.
Literal, yeah.
Or I did that this
Where
morning.
did-
Yeah. Ooh. Flashbacks.
I actually saw you the first time doing a German set.
The first time you ever saw me. you
Yeah,
saw me
which
do a
was
German
really.
set. Wow.
Yeah, and you remember that?
Was it my
that
first
was that
one?
was my very first German set ever.
And it was mine as well.
Uh,
Maybe
was
not.
it? No,
Was it? No, I don't know why I just said that, but maybe where was it?
I forgot the name of the place, but it was comedy, like in the bar at Oranienburger Straße in Mitte,
Oh yeah,
where Alex also was.
comedy. Oh, it was
Yeah.
that show.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's where we first
that was
met.
quite late.
Yeah.
late at night. Ah, I did.
Is that an excuse for what you were performing on stage? Or?
It wasn't a strong set, but that crowd was also very rowdy. I remember.
It was, yeah.
I think
You were talking about a lot of holes, though.
a lot of holes. Was
Yeah.
it?
I remember that.
I think that was when I was still doing my Tinder material in German, and I don't remember that set, but yeah, probably just talking about my pussy. My pussy.
Exactly, yeah.
My pussy. That was a weird noise.
That
Okay.
was really weird, especially after you said my pussy. Okay, wow. Special effects working.
So that was your first German set. Okay, great. And so
Yeah.
you're doing more German comedy now.
Well, I didn't do it for quite a long time, and now I'm starting to do it because obviously it's really smart for me to do.
Yes.
Um,
Oh, yeah, I remember you being up on stage.
yeah, and now I kind of got into it now. I still, for certain reasons, which I don't want to talk about here now.
Homophobia and racism. I'm assuming.
Also, we talked about that already, right? No, but like it's just a different scene, and it's also not as much, or it wasn't as much fun as English comedy is for me,
Mhm.
and also getting into it, it's way more complicated and harder.
Like getting spots.
And stuff, and that's frustrating me because, if it's not depending on how good someone is or how well someone does or those kind of things, if it's depending on other things which are not,
Yeah.
actually not relevant, that's just frustrating me and annoying. So that's why I didn't do
Definitely.
so much. And I was like, okay, fuck it. Now I'm getting more and more because I'm also like, applied for certain things where I'm like getting into successfully and
Nice. And it's also finding a rhythm with asking for spots. Like, I know German just kind of falls by the wayside because I'm doing shows every night in English. So it's like, I have to be like, ask someone like, can I get a spot? I put it in my calendar, make sure I try and get at least one in a week.
Yeah.
But it's, getting in the role of like requesting and knowing which spaces are supportive of you. And it's like, and it also kind of goes up and down for me. I'm like that little sort of, I'm a bit of a princess with German comedy. Not that I think I'm a princess, but like in that I sort of, people ask me and I'm like, oh yes, please. But like, or I just ask a couple of comedians. I don't apply through the usual methods. And so but it sort of comes and goes.
Okay.
But it comes and
I
it's
see.
a bit princessy. Not that I think
Yeah, but
I'm
I
special,
understand
but,
that.
you know
I
what
mean,
but as a female in German comedy, I am a little bit special because they are a little bit focused on having the female quota. So it's
Yeah.
like, okay. So they will come to me, but that means I'm a bit lazy. Yeah.
which is okay, but it's also like, I mean, I'm not female, but also, like, since I'm a queer comedian, it's for me also, I don't want to play every night also, like, I don't, even if I would have the chance, I don't think I would want to do it because it's also very depending on the audience and how my material gets across and is received, You
Wouldn't want to perform every night because of the audiences? I don't understand that.
No, like the German, sorry, that was very complicated
No,
because I
sorry.
got a bit twisted in my head when
No,
I
no.
was like thinking I'm not a female comedian. No, but as a queer person, it's also like in German, I'm speaking German because with the English audience it's a bit different because mostly, especially in Berlin, they come from everywhere, so there's already a difference.
Yeah.
How the audience is, they have a different
level
experiences.
of education or open-mindedness or...
Thank you for saying that. I did not say that.
I know.
Thanks,
I'm gonna go right ahead and be that asshole. But like I was saying to Kate Checker, who was just on my most recent episode, that like I have very little interest in performing in small towns in native English-speaking countries. Because they're filled with these audiences that are not necessarily like the audience that we have in English in Europe is educated because they have either had to learn English or they've left their country and had to learn another country's culture and
exactly
language.
Yeah.
So it's like there's already a different level of open-mindedness and I'll say it like education.
Yeah, and in so many different ways,
Yeah,
and if
exactly.
people come to Berlin, they're most of them, I would say, also like, they're kind of like turned towards like, or their experience with queer people, they met queer people, like,
Yes.
that is a big thing for me also, because
that's really important.
and you don't have that everywhere. So,
No.
and you also don't, unfortunately, have that in German audiences all the time.
Yeah. Totally. I'm all for continental Europe's English-speaking audiences.
Yes.
I love you guys. No hate to the native English speakers or to native speakers in the, like the Germans, but it's just, it's a different level of joy to perform
absolutely.
to an audience
It's no
that
hate
kind
at
of
all.
gets you or hasn't,
absolutely
is open to things like, yeah, absolutely.
And I also think then rather German queer people to stay with them would maybe rather go to an English speaking show than they would actually go to a German comedy show, because the material and the things they would expect or like to hear on the stage is rather given in an English speaking show than on a German comedy.
A lot of the German audience members I meet at my shows, at English shows, I say, oh, but I also do German, and they go, ugh, German comedy is horrible. And I'm always like, no, it's great. I do it too. And they're like, oof, no. Like all those comedians, no. And it's got a really, amongst English-speaking Germans, German comedy has a very bad name for a lot of them. Yeah. Which is a shame, but I think, with us in there.
We are there for a shift in the business.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yes. Now, let's talk about relationships, because you saw my book, The Ethical Slut.
Yes.
And I think it's interesting what you were saying about that. So you're in a relationship?
Yes.
Tell us about that.
I'm in a relationship for 6 years now. This summer,
yes. 6 years. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We have an open relationship by now. It's funny now. We didn't have it all, we were together for 2 or 3 years until we decided, let's open it up, which I think is really important, because I personally, I'm not judging. I'm just saying that I don't understand the concept of an open relationship once you start a relationship, because I think something has to develop or should develop. It's, again, my personal opinion.
Yeah, no, but this is interesting. I think whereas I have a different opinion of that, which I'll share, but can you just develop that? You think that the first while should be monogamous in order to...
Why it should be?
Yeah, like you think it should be monogamous for the first couple of years or something?
Yeah, I don't know how long. That depends, I think, also what you build in which amount of time, amount of time, but and how the relationship develops, and how depends on the individuals of the relationship, but I just to me it just doesn't really make any sense if it's like open from the beginning. I don't know, I don't see the... It's hard to tell. It's just like, because I also never experienced it, that I had a relationship from the beginning open, I only had it that way. But I think it helps a lot that the open relationship works very well if you have grown together already and you build a certain base of your relationship, which if you just get together and you're like, yeah, we have a relationship now and everybody can do whatever, you don't know, because an open relationship, to make an open relationship work, and that is also a big part of the Ethical Slut, I think. I haven't read it totally, but I know some things about it. It's very important, the communication, and that there are certain rules.
Yes.
There's also different open relationships and all of that, but it's really important to have the conversation. And I think if you start a relationship, there are other things you have to learn communication with your partner. No, it's not given from the beginning of a relationship. So that's why I think it's important to have your journey with your partner first before you decide to let other people join that journey.
Interesting. Okay, so in your open relationship,
I'm gonna write that on my wall.
I think it's interesting. So for me, I have had let's have a look. Like, I've had relationships that have been closed and then opened, and then I've had relationships that were I guess like not you know, it was still sort of in the getting to know you stages, and we basically decided to have it open from the start, but open in a very specific way, which I explained recently at a dinner with some kind of newer friends, and they were like, wow, Anna, that is the most hardcore way to have an open relationship.
Tell me.
It's not.
I want to know.
I hadn't realized it was a bit hardcore until I explained it. So I was talking with a friend who was in a monogamous relationship, and it's since been opened, and it's working really well. And we we're talking about, and he was telling me that they have different rules. So she says she doesn't want to know anything, so don't ask, don't tell. And he wants to know everything. So because he finds that really cool to know that, you know, she picked up some like smoking hot 25-year-old and, you know, Scandinavia or something. And he sees it as a point of pride. Like, he's proud of her when she dominates some new dick, you know, like, and she doesn't want to know a fucking thing. And I was like, oh, actually, that was a bit like one of my open relationships, which worked terribly. Like, it did not work. I didn't want to know anything. And so didn't he, but then he proceeded to tell me stuff, and I was like, that's not the deal. Now you're hurting me. I didn't want to know. And then I said, but with my marriage, we had this open relationship where we would only have other sex. We would only have sex with other people if we could see each other, like if we're in the same room. So we would only, we would never go off and have sex without each other. It would just be that we would, you know, whether it was an orgy, whether it was another couple that we met, whatever, it was always that we could see each other. And one of my friends was like, dude, so like you got to watch you watched your partner getting fucked. I'm like, yeah, that was the best part. Like, that was the coolest thing.
But wait a second, like, so it happened also that you would have someone to have sex with, and your partner would just watch, like, would sit there, and you would have
just sit there on the couch uninvolved.
No. Or was it like you did something together, but
we would do things together?
Okay.
Exactly. It wasn't like,
well, because what you just explained sounded a bit different. It was like, okay, that's really hardcore. It's like, okay, I have someone coming tonight. Do you want to watch us? Like,
well, no, like, you need to be here.
Yeah, that's our deal. You have to sit in the kitchen.
Just sit and watch. All right. Okay, we're moving to the living room now. Follow. Keep up. Chop. But no, like, just the idea of watching your partner be fucked by someone else is what my friend was like, whoa, like, he was like, I couldn't do that. I'm not ready yet. Even though I want to hear about her adventures, I wouldn't want to watch it. And I'm like, I like to watch it. I would like to see it.
Okay.
But it means you're part of it as well. It's not just this watching.
That is
you're a part of
big part of the book also. Yeah. I don't know if you read it already.
No, tell me.
Like my boyfriend would be proud of me now listening that I'm telling that. Oh my God, because he always tells me, like, that you're able to see your partner enjoying, like, letting your partner enjoy, you know, and actually be happy about it or enjoy it too.
Exactly.
And I have to say, we are also not talking about it, because that is basically my rule. That we're not, like, now after some years, we sometimes, or if it turns out like we were both chatting with the same guy or almost had something with, you know, then it can be fun also. Or we think like, oh yeah, this guy wanted to have something with me too. Yeah, but you know, well,
then that's a threesome time, isn't it?
No, we didn't. When we talk about someone we didn't have sex with, but it almost happened, you know.
Okay,
and then it's like, you know, how do you know this guy? Well, we almost, you know, like things like that.
Okay, yes.
So we, but I don't want to talk about it actually, and he would. So we're in the same, but we don't talk about it. But we not so often, really rarely, have something together with someone else. And then it's totally fine for me. Like, it's not that I can't stand out, that it hurts me in a way, you know, because we both enjoy with the same person, and it's not like, So, and then I could watch my partner having sex with someone else because I'm involved. So I don't, I totally understand that.
Yeah.
Like,
it's
that
not just,
way.
It's
like,
not being disconnected and watching. It's
and it's so,
it.
that can be something really, really great for a relationship also, I think.
I think like every time my ex-husband and I, you know, had a new adventure and watched it, it would, like, it gives you so much excitement and kind of inspiration, and it, you know, it makes you more into each other, and
Totally.
it gets more. You get it's all this kind of like self-made porn in your head.
Yeah, and speaking of in your head, isn't it the fantasy of most of the people anyway? So why not just do it?
Yeah.
No? I mean,
Totally.
I think so many people would dream of doing that, and it's the easiest thing to just do. And if it doesn't work, you don't do it again, you know?
Yeah, totally.
It's not ruining your marriage or your relationship or anything. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
Yeah, it doesn't have to ruin anything. But yeah, my ex-husband was very jealous, so like would fuck people, and then afterwards he'd be like, "Oh, so like this couple contacted us back. Do you want to have sex with them again?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Oh yeah, because you really liked him, didn't you?" And I'm like, "No, it's that you didn't get to have sex with the wife that time. So like, let's do it." He's like, "Oh, but you really liked him. You really and like."
Okay, wow, but that's...
And I was like, okay, no, this
That's
isn't.
quite toxic.
Yeah, it was super toxic. But it's interesting. You say you haven't finished reading The Ethical Slut. The first part that I opened up to was jealousy, the jealousy chapter.
Yes, yeah.
And I think that's so interesting. The idea of sitting with your jealousy and experiencing it and knowing that it's, like trying to identify if it's rage, if it's making you feel less than, if it means that that's something that you want to do with your partner, or if it's something as opposed to you wishing that your partner wasn't doing it, or it's like sort of feeling like we're so scared of jealousy, and our culture teaches us to be so scared of jealousy that it's quite like I'm excited to be in a situation where I might feel jealous again, because I want to practice these things and and see how I can manage that. But just the whole idea of like actually telling your partner all the details of your stuff, that's an opportunity for you to feel that jealousy and understand what your insecurities are, and then that's an opportunity for you to become stronger. And well, not just stronger, like, it's not through pain that you become, but like to see truly what you're insecure about.
Totally, yeah.
It's real insight.
And see, this is a point where I think it's really difficult to do that when you just got together with someone.
Yeah.
That is a point where I think like you don't even know the person, like, to have a, to think, I don't have to be jealous, or like I can work on that, because like you have to build a trust.
It's the trust.
Yeah.
Well, to know that you're not with someone who is going to hurt you
exactly, and
intentionally.
that's I think a big part of you have to get to know someone.
I think that makes a lot of sense. Like, unless it's someone that you've known. Like if you're just meeting them and you meet them and you start it as a romantic thing. Like if it was, for example, an old friend, which I have never done this, or maybe I have once or twice, but partnered up with someone that I've known already quite a while, then I think you could maybe start it, because you already know them.
But then you know the person. I think it's about knowing, not like, okay, we just started a relationship, but also to be honest, I think that doesn't really happen so much, no?
Not in Berlin, but I think in different parts of the world, like I think those people that you already know quite well, and you get to know them before you start a romantic love relationship.
Okay, that's a different thing, yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
But just only in those. So only then would you already have the trust. But otherwise, if from the get go, you're meeting them and starting something, then I think making sure that they're not a toxic person, a toxic soul, and that you're gonna be safe with them. Starting close makes sense.
Yeah
And then I'm really excited to. I'm really like this book. I also read the whole chapter on like intentional single, like being single, and I think that is so interesting. The way the writer talks about it. It's like you can find the love of your life, and then they die, and then you live the next 30 years by yourself. That doesn't mean you have a lesser life. Doesn't mean you're going to be on the hunt looking for that next love of your life. You've probably had it. Maybe they died when you were 60 and you lived till you're fucking 90. It's like being single and being okay being single and taking on lovers, but like staying as a single person should be a more like, there's so little in the media and there's so little conversation about it. It should be a more accepted way of life. You're not less than because you're single.
No, definitely. But most of everything in society is built on like being
Couples.
in a relationship,
Yeah.
even a family, but the family like male, female kids, not
Yeah.
like the friend family or whatever, you know?
Because you build, like, so you are from a different part of Germany, right?
Yes.
Where are you from?
Saarland.
Oh, I don't know.
You don't know where it
Is that north?
Do you ever listen to my sets? Actually, I talk about it in all my sets. Okay, wow.
I get the gay
all the
stuff.
questions. Yeah. you got that.
I got the gay. I got the boyfriend stuff. I got the. But
No
what
kidding,
about
but
Saarland?
it's a small state of Germany,
Uh-huh.
which is close to the border of France and Luxembourg. It's
Ah,
like before the
interesting.
south part of Germany, before, but you know where Baden-Württemberg and Bavaria is like
Theoretically, I
the
know
two
where they
next
are.
to each other in the
Mhm.
south.
Yes, yep.
And then when the country gets a bit wider, basically,
Mhm.
like on the west side, there's like it's really little. It has like kind of the
Okay.
shape of a pig.
Okay.
That's what they always said.
Kind of the shape of a
Yeah.
pig. It's a state that's kind of the shape of a pig.
Yeah.
All right.
Not gonna make
Like
any
the whole
comments
pig,
about.
like the whole pig's body.
Yeah. It has like
It's got
legs, and then it has like the nose is very. Do you say the nose? Is it
snout.
Yeah, it's very long,
Yeah.
kind of.
Yeah,
But yeah,
that's so random.
it is. But you're gonna look it up later, and you're like, oh yeah, I see it.
I
It's
am.
stupid, but yes.
I'm gonna look it up. That's amazing.
So yeah, I'm from. What was it?
I was just wondering, like, so, and how long have you lived in Berlin?
Well, I moved away from there already when I was 16.
Oh,
Like end of
wow.
16.
That's very
Beginning, like I moved 2 months before I turned 17, but to Hamburg. I was living in Hamburg
Ah.
first because I studied in
Mhm.
Hamburg.
Okay, and then after Hamburg,
And after Hamburg, I moved here, so I'm here now for 12 years.
12 years. Okay.
2 weeks ago was my 12th anniversary.
Happy Berlin anniversary. That's exciting. 12
Yeah.
years.
Yeah. How long have you been here?
6.5
Okay, and you moved from Melbourne.
from
right?
Melbourne. Yeah, direct. 2 suitcases, nothing else.
Wow, that's exciting.
That was full on. Yeah, but I asked the question because that means that you've built your own community here. Do you have any family here?
Well, I mean, that's, I don't have like blood
Blood
related
family, yeah.
family here, like not at all.
No.
But I would totally say that I built my family, within
Right.
12 years, and not only with my boyfriend, with my partner, like also with friends who are to me like family,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and that's it. Like if having this, like the community that I've built here and my friends, like I have a support network. Like I've got my family and I speak to them, and I'm really always very happy to visit them, and they're a different type of family. But you build a family you build a community that's a family when you're single, and even when you've got a partner. But yeah, just sort of why people feel like you need a partner in order to be complete. And it's like, well, you can get a lot of things from different friends.
Exactly,
And then you
totally.
can get things from different lovers. I'm actually kind of like, since reading the single thing, I'm kind of wanting to try. I'm very open to having a relationship if I find one, but I'm also quite interested in trying out having like a couple of lovers that I sort of communicate a desire to say, hey, can we like try and do this in like a respectful way? I want to stay single. Like, I don't think we're a relationship pair, but I think, I like having sex with you, and I'd like us to sort of look after each other as
Yeah.
lovers, and be, be respectful. Like this is a relationship, but we're not in a boyfriend. It's just a sex relationship, but let's bring the same level of respect and love to how we communicate around it.
Yeah.
And that way we can move forward and continue enjoying having sex, but we're there's no like exclusivity or partnership or labels. You're just a lover.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking of trying to maybe
Do you
have
have
that
someone?
conversation. Well, there's a few people that I see, and there's a few people that I see that I don't like. I don't see them as relationship people for us, but the sex is really enjoyable, and it would be nice to just maybe have that adult conversation of going, hey, no interest in a partnership, but let's sort of commit to a few kind of like respectful things so that we can keep having sex and we both feel good about it, but there's no commitment or relationship
Yeah.
here. Yeah.
And do you feel connected to those people also in a certain way?
Yeah, there's like an intimacy
Be-
and a like a friend, like there's a really nice connected to, I guess, yeah, like I always enjoy pre and post sex hanging out, but it's not like, we're gonna it's not like yeah, that's sort of there's like boundaries to the hanging out, and it's and
What kind of boundaries, if I may
yeah,
ask?
yeah, sure. In that we don't like we know that we're hanging out for it in the sense that the boundary is to keep it a casual thing. So it's like, okay, we're not going to spend hours and hours together. It's like we'll meet up, we'll have some fun, there'll be sex, we will, you know, have a coffee and a chat, and then we'll say goodbye.
Yeah, okay, I understand. Because maybe once you talked about it and it's like clear, you even can spend more time together, or you know, like, because things are clear. And I don't know, but just
Yeah.
assuming now, it's probably at some point for both of you awkward, because both of you think, could it be weird at some point, or could the other think? I mean, it's all about communication anyways, you know. It all
Exactly.
leads there. And once you talk about it, not to tell you now you should talk, you have to do that, you know, you do that on your own terms. But I think it's a
Yeah.
good thing to do that.
I think it's an interesting. I think, you know, I lamented it a while ago. I hadn't thought about it for a while since, but the idea of it's how stupid it is that as soon as you fuck someone, you respect them almost. You treat them with less respect than you would a friend, even if it's like they can be a friend. This is not how everyone does, and it's certainly not how it should go. But it often is the way that it goes.
Really?
That once you might have a friend, then you fuck, and then all of a sudden it becomes the communication somehow becomes less honoring, less yeah, like there's because of, I think, this fear of where it's going. I think people often move into a less respectful communication pattern with a person once they start fucking them because they're scared.
Are we talking friends now? Are we talking people who were friends before already?
Yes,
Or
yes.
okay,
Because
okay,
that's
okay.
where you can see it. Because
Yeah,
when you
yeah,
just
yeah.
meet someone,
Yeah,
and
that's
you
why.
fuck,
Yeah,
then you don't
yeah,
really
yeah,
notice
yeah.
the change. But I think, yeah, this thing of like, yeah, I feel like I feel like there's such a lack in education when we're growing up about communication and like communicating feelings and about looking after people's feelings. And I feel like the idea of communicating to people that you have casual sex with about what you want and how to look after each other in communication, God, that would like, this is hitting me at the age of 35. It's like, God damn it. Like, I could have, imagine if we had,
Well, but at least it's hitting you now, you know?
yeah,
It's like a lot of people will never be hit by these
it's
thoughts.
true. It's true.
It's like,
But it's just such a shame that we don't get an education in how to look after people and
right.
communicate our feelings and yeah, be like respectful and take responsibility and yeah, all these things.
Because I think also it's a, I think.
Good.
Should think before I talk, obviously. Know that probably, especially in Berlin, but that's also something everybody in bigger cities is saying. No, it's just here, and it's just that, of course, it's harder to find someone to connect to. But my personal experience also in terms of having sex with someone, I mostly have a connection to someone. And I can call myself probably lucky that I really rarely experienced it even in the first time having sex with someone. I mean, you never know, but just luckily it didn't happen so much to me. That I really, you know, was with someone I didn't even want to see anymore again, or something.
Yeah.
That's really, but like really have a connection. And also for me, automatically having sex with someone gives in a way a connection. Like, I don't know, it's also not that I right away have sex with someone, like before, you know, like it, as a gay man, it's so easy with all the apps and everything, but I really don't like that so much. I'm not judging it, I did it, and it's like totally fine, and it's great that we have the opportunity to do that. Totally.
But like, you mean like okay, so when you talk about having a connection with someone, you mean you're attracted to them, like, you know, in their person, how they are as a person. The connection is you're attracted to them and it feels good with them, and you.
Well, yes, but also not saying that I'm not also only attracted to seeing their photos and their genitals to finally close the circle. It's we're easily I don't know.
Easily attracted to
we're
people.
all easily
to
attracted
a point,
to.
though, there are still lots of people that I'm like
exactly, and mostly it's also such a such a short time of attraction. I think I just wrote the other day. I finished a bit about, I didn't do it yet, but in German also. Might have to translate it anyways. I'm not doing it in German. About like when you're in when you want to have sex with someone, or you want to have a sex date because you're like looking forward to that, and you kind of plan to finally have sex again or whatever, and but you don't know who it's gonna be.
What do you mean?
Like who you're gonna have? Like you're on the apps and you're trying to find someone for tonight or tomorrow. Like this kind of thing.
That's not how I operate at all. That sounds amazing.
No, fine. I'm not saying that I operate like that.
Okay,
but like,
but that's it. But that speaks to something of the gay community versus the me. Like I can't. For me, I don't ever have a plan of like I want to fuck, and I like can open the app and find someone. I never.
But being horny and like
they don't work like that. Like
oh wait, my point my point is that then in the end, you have way less stress, and sometimes, most of these times, the same satisfaction if you just make it yourself.
Make what yourself?
Make yourself happy that night.
Oh, masturbate.
Right.
Eat dessert. What's your favorite movie? But have a solo date. Yeah.
Like, yes, I'm talking like it's from my perspective and as a male perspective, that I think most of these times when you're on the apps and you're like, oh yeah, and then you make each other so horny with like sending photos and whatever, and then you think, oh my god, I have to meet, and actually.
And you're saying actually the attraction or the sex isn't.
No, maybe you're really attracted to that person, but do you really need to meet a random person that night to have sex with, or does the feeling go with blowing it all out yourself?
I would say no. I would say the thing is that, for example, so it's just an interesting construction there for me, because I don't think for me. Whether or not it's because I'm a straight woman, but I don't, straight queerish, but yeah, very, very rarely is there a woman that I'm like, yes, but sometimes it happens. But I can't use the apps for a quick hookup. Like I theoretically could, but it can go so wrong. Like I never look at, like for me, the apps are not a quick fix at all. Yeah. Apps are actually the longest way to get sex. The fastest way to get sex is to be in a club and scan the room and be like bingo, and that's what that's.
You don't have to tell me.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So like if I'm like I want to fuck, then I'm out.
Yeah.
And and thanks to comedy, I'm often out. But But yeah, so
what is exactly the reason for you doing comedy?
No, not at all, But it does happen like that. But hold on, I'm getting distracted. I'm getting lots of flashbacks right now. But in terms
from last
of like,
night, or
sorry, this morning. Very fun. But actually, so the whole thing of like I want to fuck. There's a few people I could contact, for example, if I but often the fastest way is to because contacts can be busy, right? You don't know, so it's like the fastest way is being out. But then, is it worth it? I would say if you do have chemistry with a person. I've had a very good run recently of people that I meet and within a few hours have sex with, and that the sex is very good. And
how many are we talking?
I don't do numbers, okay? I'm not going into numbers. It's been a very eventful year, I would say.
You obviously do numbers.
I do not. When I went to the to Checkpoint, the STD clinic, recently, and they asked the numbers, and there I was, like, with my hands out, counting on the fingers. I was like, oh shit.
Can I have your hand?
Yeah, I need more. That's great. Needing to get everyone in to give me their fingers. But but it felt so obvious in front of all the people sitting there filling out the forms, and I was like, fuck. And I was like, oh no, and that person too, and just like trying to count. But yeah, so what I'm saying is those like I want to fuck hookups have actually, it's a different, when you do that, you're looking for intimacy, and you're looking for someone to like, you're looking for that dynamic of fucking that you don't get by yourself. So.
Yeah, I think maybe how I explained it, you're totally right, but maybe that's also not exactly how I meant it.
Okay, how do you mean it?
It's more this like, I don't know, as a man, and then you're horny and you're like, you think you want to have sex and you would invite someone randomly to like, but actually you're not looking for what you exactly said. You know, it's actually, you really just have to.
You're really just wanting to blow a load.
Yeah.
Man, I really, okay. I really want to squirt again. I've only done it once, but that is not.
Okay, wow. It's like, I was like, what's she saying now? Is the time up? Do we have to stop? Like, no, of course. What else would come now? Right.
She's going to talk about squirting, yeah.
Of course.
It just feels like the most, like, if I could do it with more regularity, it would just feel like sex is so much more balanced, because, like, the way a man jizzes is just like, it's so wonderful that you have this like visual thing of release as well. It's super cool. Like, I love it.
I'm so sorry. No.
Don't be sorry.
No. Because the thing is, I can't really. To be honest, I can't say a word about this. I just wanted to say I really wish for you to make it happen more often.
Yeah.
But that's all I can say about this, because zero knowledge.
Zero. No, I bet.
Sorry.
So you are a gold star gay. You've never had sex with a woman?
Well, yes and no.
What the fuck? You can't have yes and
no. Of course. You can have anything. Yes.
What a bitch.
It's 2022.
Make your mind up.
No, the thing is, like, I had girlfriends. I knew that I'm gay quite in an early age, but you growing up on the countryside and being surrounded by, the society shows you that that's maybe not the best choice in your life. It's obviously not a choice. It's a better choice to play the straight life, or play the straight card and go the straight way. To
lie to yourself.
Of course, I tried it, and it was also not always present, like there. Like, it was in my subconscious also a lot. Where I was like, yeah, I know I'm attracted, but like, I can have a girlfriend. Kind of like, because I had girlfriends and I liked them a lot. And I was into them, and I was attracted by them, And until today, I feel really sorry that I actually kind of really back then broke hearts. Like, really, it really. But I also cannot, it hurts me, or it's sad to me that I did that. But I'm also okay with them now, and it's all fine.
Yeah.
I know that back then it was probably really hurtful for them, way more than it ever was for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I was also in a really.
That's
not
beautiful
great
to
situation.
hear you say that, though. That's, I feel like you just healed some part of the pain that I've had when I've been with gay men, or with people that have not been sure about whether I never had a boyfriend that became gay, but I did have a partner that, in the middle of our relationship, they said, actually, I'm not sure if I'm gay or not, and it was just like, wow, like you sort of invalidated all of my sense of us together. But that's really lovely, and I'm sure your ex is really, sounds like you were really, you've been really responsible about that since, and
totally. I mean, it was really, I mean, I could have said that is because back then, unlike your partner you're just talking about, I wasn't even able to say, sorry, we can't be together because of this reason. I broke up this relationship for other reasons, which were only excuses. I mean, the first one I'm thinking about now actually that was just when I moved to Hamburg, and that was with end of 16 a horrible change for me. You know, that was so hard for me. That was the reason actually. Like
Okay.
not that, you know, that was for me like I can't do that anymore, and like I need to.
It was a long distance thing between.
Yeah, we just
Yeah.
got together a month before I
You
moved,
to
2
Hamburg.
months.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So, but to come back also to that topic, I didn't want to jump to the squirting and sex topic.
No, but
I tried it
mhm.
only with a second partner I'm thinking about now. We tried, it didn't really work. Of course, because it was a thing in my head, you know, and I knew, and then I was like, oh, I want to have to make it happen because, like, you know, I would have loved to, but mostly we ended up just smoking a joint and going on with our life instead of having
Okay, so you didn't really. Okay, it didn't. Okay.
So, like,
interesting.
you know, we like we're on the way there, but it never really worked out.
It's a very sweet way of saying it. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. Okay. So it didn't really.
I just explained it right exactly as it was.
Yeah, that's very sweet. It's very sweet. Okay, so yes and no. Yes and no. You've been with a woman. Okay.
No, but you understand now why I said yes and no.
I do
no?
understand. Yeah. Yeah. I do
Like
understand.
because we tried to have sex, but it didn't work.
Yeah. That's interesting. And then from then, how long was it before you had a male relation? Male.
From then, when that happened,
Or-
well, with her, that was then when I, in between Hamburg and Berlin, I was for a little while in Saarland again. For work, and then when I moved to Berlin, basically that ended again. But then I was, which is still crazy until today to me, that I was living in Berlin for 12 years now, like 4 years, 3.5 years, or 3, yeah.
What is happening
Wow.
outside?
Until I actually had something with the first
So it took
experience
3
with a
years
man.
before your
Took me
first
three-
experience.
yeah, I was
First
living here for 3.
experience. Wow.
Yeah, and until I had the first from the day I had the first experience until I actually came out to my friends here, it was still kind of a year.
Interesting.
Yes, it was a
That's
long journey.
very interesting.
And then still almost a year until I told my parents.
Yeah.
Like here, everybody knew
Yeah.
for a year, and I was like kind of living that life already.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah.
Your first experience, do you mind me asking? Your first experience, was it just like a one-on-one situation, or was it more like a
It's
classic?
a really funny story.
Okay, yeah, can you?
I met
please.
him actually. I was away for 2 months because I had rehearsals of a theater piece in the south, and I was 2 months out of Berlin, and I came back. So I was like, oh, I'm finally back. You know, 2 months is a long time, and I wanted to celebrate with my friends. And we went out, and we wanted to go to Berghain, and we didn't get in. And then we went to Club der Visionäre, and we had a fun time there. And I even met a woman there, girl, who I'm still friends with today. Different story, but also really funny. And we were super drunk, and we were on our way home in the morning. And I was waiting for the tram, or I actually got on the tram, the M10. To I used to live also in Prenzlauer Berg, but a little further away where I live now. So I had to take the M10 to Eberswalde, and I was so, it was like it was May. No, it was 1st of June, 31st of May, or 1st of June. But it was beautiful,
Summer.
sunny. Some of the first days of sunshine in the city, and I was on the M10 going home Sunday morning, and totally wasted. And I couldn't stop looking at this man sitting across from me, and I was so that I obviously, he told me later, I didn't even notice that I did things like, sending him signs like with my tongue, doing things which I hope I never done afterwards or before, because it sounds really awkward. But that was what made him being interested in me, or recognizing me, realizing that I'm into him. And so I was obviously staring at him, and then we both got out at Eberswalde. But I was like, fuck, he got out. Did he get out now because of me? What's happening? Is he following me? And I wanted to walk home, which back then I used to live in Bornholmer. Do you know?
No.
It's like if the top of Schönhauser.
Okay.
The top. So I wanted to walk from Eberswalder to there. Like, also like, it helps in the morning to after a party to walk. Exactly. But I was walking, and then I do we have time that I tell this whole story? Yeah, I'm trying to make it quick. Anyways, he was like behind me, and then I stopped to see if he would come and talk to me, and then he came, he broached me, and back then I also barely spoke English, I did speak English, but not really well. And he started speaking English to me, and then we kind of like communicated. But I was like, fuck, it's Sunday morning, broad daylight. If someone sees me, this is my neighborhood, like I was shit scared that someone would see that and would know. So like then was like, he was like, are you gonna come to my place? And I was like, I don't know. And then I don't know, something, he left again because I wasn't sure. And then in the end I was like, fuck, I have to do this now. So, to make it short, we ended up at his place, which was kind of halfway to my place. And I was so scared. I was so scared. This is such a stupid story. I put my wallet, I wrapped my wallet in my pants and put it somewhere where I saw it, because I was scared he would like somehow see who I am or where I live. As if he would have been interested in, not at all, but that was in my head. It's like, fuck, he cannot know who I am after this, And then we fooled around a bit, and then he actually came from Berghain, so it was really fun. I was like, oh, we were supposed to go there, but it didn't happen.
That's crazy.
And we fooled around a bit, and then he was suddenly like talking about, maybe my friends come over, they're just on their way home from the party. I was like, no, I won't be here when anybody's coming in this house. And so I left, and I went to Mauerpark, to the flea market where my flatmates back then had were selling stuff. And I came there, I was totally like, this happened to me, my brain was somewhere else, I was totally
overwhelmed.
And they were like, Philipp, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I just partied too much. And it was like, it was crazy.
That's so interesting.
That was the first night.
That's so interesting. It's so funny, like your first sexual experience started on a tram. My first sexual experience started on a tram.
Really? You know that I told my friends about that. Like I was working in a bar, and in a kind of like a queer bar already, but I was still the straight person working there. And then afterwards, like when it came out at some point, I told my colleagues there, my gay colleagues, and they were all like, Philipp, how did you do that? Like, we all wish we would have met someone on a tram or had this encounter on a fucking train on our way home. How did you do that? It's like, I don't know. It was awkward. It happened.
It happens.
If you don't want it, then it happened. I don't know. It was just
That's like like once I left a club to get a taxi for a friend, and then they wouldn't let me back in. And I was like, all right, fine. And then I was standing out the front and rolled a cigarette, and this guy was standing next to me. He was pretty cute, and I asked for his lighter, and then I asked him where he was going, and he said he was going home, and then he said, do you want to come? And I was like, yep.
No way. Which tram was that?
Which club? It was the same.
No, which tram?
Which tram? Oh, no, this was a different one. The tram is my, in high school.
Okay.
No, but this, I shouldn't say the club that it's just ridiculous. But that was in Berlin. That was in Neukölln. But the tram story is just my first ever boyfriend, actually. Like, boyfriend that I kissed, my first kiss, and my first, I guess,
sexual encounter.
Yeah, sexual encounter. I don't know why I'm getting me saying it. My first
me neither. Like,
fingering.
Didn't we talk about everything possible already?
Because you've been so sweet and like just using euphemisms. So I'm like, should I go hardcore with details or not? Jeez. But yeah, that was I met him on the tram on the 64, the East Brighton, and we used to. There was out the front of my school. It was the tram line, and we had 5 other schools that would get on that tram. from sort of the start to finish. And so you knew everybody, but the guy that I was flirting, like we would have like 5 stops together or 6 stops together and to flirt. And so I got to know this guy.
Can you show me how you flirted
Aaron.
with him?
I probably like kicked him and insulted him, classic
like
high
kids,
school. Yeah. And eventually like exchanged numbers and then went for a date. And I remember first date was at we went to the cinema, of course, and we watched the movie Blow. With Johnny Depp.
Interesting.
Yeah,
how old have you been then?
I was 14. Yeah.
That's a crazy movie
That's
to
a
watch
crazy
as a date when you're 14. Wow.
It's a really good movie.
It is a really good movie, but not when you're 14.
Yeah, I wonder why I like drugs and crazy
why you ended up in
lifestyle.
Berlin. Yeah.
Next up, Mexico. Maybe. Yeah, so that was that. That's so funny, tram stories.
Yeah.
We're gonna wrap up in a second. So do you have any anything, like we've got like 4 minutes, I would say. Do you have anything you would like to bring up, or any questions or things to come back to, or something
Definitely not. Let's not come back to anything we talked about.
No?
No, kidding. No, do you have anything?
I'm just trying to think if there's any points that we didn't, like that we started and then got sidetracked by or not. But no, I don't think so.
Shall I say quickly something, because
Please, please.
there's more to the story at what
Yeah.
happened after the M10,
Yeah.
because I was so
Please.
confused and I wanted to, I was like, okay, the secret is now not only with me anymore. I share it with someone, so I need to see that person again. But I couldn't remember where he lived, where I got out. I only remembered I got out of the house, and then I saw the U-Bahn tracks above the street, so the viaduct there. So I knew around Schönhauser, obviously, where, like somewhere there. And I was looking for him for days.
So hold on, why did you want to see him again? You wanted to communicate
Because
that?
I was like, I have to do this again. Now someone knows, and I did it already, so he knows. So if I see him again, I can at least do it again with him.
Okay, so you wanted to explore more.
Exactly, yeah.
Yep.
Because I knew, so it was for me finally, like So anyways, I was
Very
looking for him for
exciting.
days, like literally driving my bike in the rain, the streets up and down there, and I couldn't find him because I couldn't remember. I was really, and then I met him like a week after, and I met him on the street, and I was like, "Hi, do you remember me?" And he's like, "Yeah, of course." And then we had a little chat, and I was like, "Do you want me to see me again, maybe?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure. Let's change numbers." And now the funny thing, I didn't want to give him my number because I was so scared. He would have my number. He would have way too much information about me.
Could you be more German? I'm sorry.
It's fine. It's like, and then I also stupid. I mean, it's like,
But it says so much about how deeply fearful
Totally,
you were
totally,
about
yeah.
being you and engaging with people that you're attracted
Absolutely,
to who
yeah.
just happen to be the same sex. Or,
Yeah.
Oh.
And then he gave me his number, and he was like, once I text you and you text me back,
I'll have your number.
I'll have your number. And so I gave him the number of, back then I had like an old phone, which I was just casual, like still connected to my dad's number because, I was kind of young. So, and I would give him that number, which I only used with texting with him actually, and my own phone where everybody could basically see when I
Yeah.
I was really kept it separate for like, I don't know,
How long?
half a year or whatever. Like,
It's quite a process.
yeah. But yeah, that was it's actually fun to me now, the number story. I just thought when you said
funny.
we exchanged numbers, I was like, wow, with 14, like it took me such a long time until I exchanged numbers with 24.
You're hilarious.
But yeah,
That's so
Yeah, that's
funny.
the
Well, it's
story.
it's like no pity or anything, but like it that makes me. Yeah, there's a bit of sadness that like there was so much fear.
no, of course. But
now.
now I can talk about it, and
Yeah,
it
and
seems
it's-
all really funny.
Yeah.
It's like really, I met this guy on the M10. It's already ridiculous, and I have the pictures. Every single picture of that way I have in my
Yeah.
head still. So
It's a beautiful
yeah,
story.
it's really funny. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Are you still in contact with him?
No, I was for a very long time. And that's a funny thing also, because he also wasn't really like 100% like I'm gay, which was also helping me a lot,
For sure.
But like I think that's why also at some point, because I developed from that quite quickly, you know, and then that might have been not really right for him, and then we kind of lost contact. And he moved away. He was not obviously that's why we talked English. He wasn't from Berlin.
Okay.
He wasn't German, and he moved back to his home country.
Okay.
Which, you know, out of Datenschutz, I'm not gonna say him.
You can just leave his phone number.
Brazil.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm a big fan of Brazilians.
I think I never had anything with a Brazilian afterwards.
Oh really? I haven't had many at all, but just all the just all the Brazilians that I've met, I've always like all the ones that I've met. I've just been very lucky. I've always had a really lovely vibe with them. Yeah, and most of them not sexual, but like just really, you know.
I mean, and I know some Brazilians, and I really get along with them well, but I didn't really have sexual encounter with Brazilians. I think
me only one really, but yeah, I might have to fix that. Do you have just quickly?
Well, there's another comedy night coming up tonight.
But do you have just quickly? I'm just curious. Do you have nationalities that you tend like? Are there nationalities that you have
yes,
like represent a high number in your?
Yes.
Do you want to share them or not?
Well, that's also part of my sets, which you never listen to, obviously.
Come on,
I'm very well.
I think I've only seen your set twice.
True, that's true.
Australian.
That's true. Well, my boyfriend is Australian, but I'm actually really, really into Americans, like from the US. US Americans.
Interesting.
Which I can't even explain it. It just happened. Like once I got the thing rolling, it just happened that, you know, going out here, going to clubs, a lot of American men always visit. And I'm into a bit of a higher age man, and it just happened to be always Americans, and so I have a lot of friends
from the States.
all over in the States.
Interesting. I have been with very few U.S. citizens, I would say, very few, but yeah, my numbers are like Spanish. It's insane, and then and Spanish speakers.
It's insane. Okay.
It's just like, do they always have to speak Spanish? It's crazy. And then
but it just happens. No, you just see, and
happens.
that's the same with me. I don't know why it happens. Like
I don't know why. Like my ex-husband was Colombian, and then like after that, it was just like
because of blow, obviously.
Because of blow, I'm gonna blame
now
Johnny
it all
Depp.
makes sense.
That's it. That's where it started.
Yeah.
Actually, we've got to wrap up. But actually, have you seen the film? Otherwise, this is the end of the conversation. Have you seen the film Desperado with Antonio Banderas?
Yeah, but like years ago when it came out, probably when I was not old enough to watch it.
Yeah, exactly. Me too. I recently tried to watch it again. I could easily try. Like if I had weed, it would be very easy to finish watching it. I'm not very good at watching movies. Anyway, but it's...
You want to tell me now you don't have weed here? Okay.
Yeah,
different conversation, but...
I don't smoke. I don't smoke weed. I would get edibles once it becomes legal in Berlin. I love edibles.
Soon.
Oh,
hopefully.
Yeah, soon, right? Yeah, for just... Yeah, but what I was going to say was, rewatching that, it's just like, it is the archetype of what I think I became attracted to. A like super moody, like dark and mysterious musician who is like a Spanish speaker with long hair. I was just like, God damn it. That's like, that is exactly the type that I've gone for. Like, yeah. I feel like that movie...
I'm going to watch it again now also.
Yeah, it really got in there. And maybe I should rewatch Blow as well and see exactly how much of it.
Yeah. Well, I can only assume.
Oh, Jesus, the things we were exposed to.
Funny, yeah.
Very funny. All right, let's. Do you have anything you'd like to plug? How could people find you?
Yeah, you got me there.
I love that.
And that's where it all began, and where it always ends.
Plugging.
No, what did you actually want to ask?
So do you want
Plugging.
do you have a should people find you on Instagram? Do you have any shows coming up?
Find me on Instagram.
Yeah.
Philipp Leinenbach. Philipp_Leinenbach. I don't know the English term.
Underscore.
Yeah, underscore. And that was hard. And do I have any? Well, yeah, but I have a show coming up tonight, which is not interesting for the podcast
No,
right now.
because I'll probably put this out tomorrow.
But I'm around.
You're around.
I'll be around on the comedy stages of the city, German and English.
German and English. Good.
If they want me in German, but yeah.
Of course they do. Of course they do. Well, I'll probably put this out tomorrow. So if you're listening and you're in Berlin, come and see Three Girls One Mic tomorrow. That's with Luana, Mate, and Maya Upchurch and myself. And otherwise, find me on Instagram if you don't already, AF Barros. That has been Adult Only Comedy Berlin. It's been such a pleasure, Philipp.
Thank you for having me.
Thank
That
you
was
so
really
much.
fun.
So much fun.
Thanks.
Thank you
Thank
and
you.
goodbye.
Bye.